apparently this profession broke my brain to the point where I'm watching the White House Correspondents dinner now. And it is the most blatant display of what happens when an empire completely loses their mind. The corporate media right now is worse than it's ever been. I know people quit corporate media in the 2000s because of The Daily Show, Jon Stewart, all the people who first mocked the corporate media during my teenage years. And a lot of people mass quit the corporate media so people don't know how bad it is now. But bro, the corporate media is full-blown, unapologetically fascist, speaking out against protests. They are literally justifying collective punishment. How many propaganda statements have we seen on RBN where people are like, oh, what about October 7th? Because of October 7th, Israel can do whatever they want. You have people justifying collective punishment, using starvation as a tool of war. I've seen people on Fox News that are like, why should we send aid to Palestine? Why should we feed the enemy? Because not doing so is a fucking war crime, sir? So the propaganda that we are living through right now is going to be studied historically. I know people thought corporate media was bad 15 years ago, but we are living through historical bad shit right now. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean here very soon. Hell, you guys saw it in the Correspondents dinner. The Correspondents dinner. I'm my brother and background. We couldn't believe the crazy shit they're saying. The fucking ball licking of Joe Biden, a genocidal maniac who, you guys just saw the hotspot, is continuing to send weapons to an IDF unit that was committing terrorist acts in the West Bank. You know where Hamas is not at? There is no Hamas in the West Bank. But Biden supports sending weapons to terrorist IDF units. And this is the president that is being praised on the White House Correspondents dinner. And I see some of the MSNBC coverage of it because they have special coverage of it. Bro, if you want to talk, I've never ever want to see Americans ever talk about North Korea, China, any other state media ever again. And this is something that I have challenged on RBN since the beginning. Everything you've been told about your enemies is a projection. People, I explained this before, in China, people know that the news comes from the state. That makes them more informed because they understand where the sources is coming from. And despite what people say, like you guys know the BBC operates in Russia, like they actually get oppositional news. They have state media and they get a ton of news from other countries and stuff. So they're actually more well-informed because they know what the source is. We have intelligence spooks. We have literally people from the press secretary like Jen Psaki who get an anchor job, literally Simone Sanders, people who worked in the Biden administration that sits at the desk, Rachel Maddow, all these propaganda for the Democrat Party, and the same thing goes for Fox News and Republicans, and people think they're getting real news. Guys, the MSNBC segments, and I obviously can't show it because I watched like an hour of it, when they was covering the press corps, the dinner was insanity. And during this dinner, you literally had the guy that said, oh my God, but the comedian that said, how could Biden be possibly losing against the poll against his candidate that has all these felony prosecutions? You have the press corps that is begging Americans to vote for Joe Biden. And people think they're getting real news in this country. Now we're going to get to some clips of the Correspondents dinner. I'm not going to show you guys a lot because, bro, I was fucking suffering last night doing homework for you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe watching this shit. I watched all of it. And about halfway through, bro, it was like watching a movie, bro. I told you guys, I watched this shit
at the Wall
Street. Like a science. Like, holy shit. Holy shit, look at how crazy our society is. Like, it's like watching a movie. There's no fiction that's crazier than what we're living through. That's why I'm not into a lot of fiction nowadays. How can you write something that's crazier than our government? You know what I mean? So I'm going to show you guys this part because watching this Correspondent dinner was like living in a fucking fever dream. Here is the White House Correspondents dinner talking about protecting journalists and journalists being prosecuted as the United States, UK, and Israel are the biggest prosecutors and executors of journalists in modern human times.
Wall Street Journal, they are counting. For Moscow correspondent Evan Gerskovich, 396 days since he was jailed in Russia. The U.S. government has designated Evan as wrongfully detained. And Evan's parents and his family are with us tonight, and we are with you always. We remember Austin Tice. 4,276 days, nearly 12 years since he was kidnapped in Syria. His mother, Deborah, is with us. And Mrs. Tice, we are with you.
Listen to who they are not saying. Who are you not saying? They don't even mention the American journalist. Do you guys know Shireen Abdul-Akleh had American citizenship? So I always accidentally leave that out when I cover her, but you got to know that she was technically an American too. So you had Shireen Abdul-Akleh, American, murdered by Israel. Gonzalo Lira, American, murdered by the Ukrainian regime that we are funding. No mention of any of these people. This is literally traitorous. Like, this is beyond bad at this point. This is traitorous. But let's continue.
And Mr. President, again, we humbly ask that you do everything you can to bring them home. Our profession can be perilous. Since October, about 100 journalists have been killed, most of those deaths in Gaza.
Killed by who, ma'am? Killed by who? You shameless motherfucker. Do you understand why she don't tell you why? Because the idea they implant in people's head are these journalists are dead because of Hamas when they say that. They want to leave the impression that Hamas is at fault when these journalists was targeted and executed by the state of Israel. But watch how she conveniently leaves that part out. This is literally traitorous behavior we're witnessing here.
About 100 journalists have been killed, most of those deaths in Gaza, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Around the world, more than 320 reporters imprisoned as...
She don't even mention who killed them. This is the point I had to emphasize because I watched this live and I literally flipped my shit when I saw this part. Because I wasn't even expecting them to mention the journalists killed in Gaza. Guys, to me, and this is my personal opinion, it's literally better off if you don't even fucking mention it. If you're going to leave this impression or not even point out the fact that Israel murdered them. Maybe I might be wrong there. Who knows? But anyway, let's continue. This is literally insane.
Gaza, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Around the world, more than 320 reporters imprisoned as of December, including an American with dual Russian citizenship, Alsu Kermayshev, who works for the U.S.-funded Radio Free Europe Radio Liberty. She has been jailed in Russia since October.
In Russia. So, I don't know details about that case, but I don't have to debunk it. What did I tell you guys in RBN? And these white people, bro, are having a hard time dealing with my politics, bro. I had someone else who snitch tagged the FBI on me. Here, I'm going to show you guys this. Guys, you know how many times this happened on me? I didn't plan this, but I'm going to make a point. Look. We got another person snitch tagging the FBI on me. You know how many people send this kind of shit to me? I said another one because I ratio someone else for doing this. So white people believe that I should be killed or arrested, most likely killed, by the CIA and the FBI. Why? Why do so many white people oppose my coverage? Because unlike these cowardly motherfuckers, I do what a journalist is actually supposed to do. I do what someone who is a patriot is supposed to do. I am way more patriotic than all you motherfuckers combined. I want our country to live and behave based on the oath that they claim. So I, as a citizen journalist and as a taxpayer to our government, want to hold our government responsible for the crimes our government commits because I pay taxpayer money to our fucking government. You want to know where my taxpayer money don't go? Putin. Xi Jinping, Russia. You want to know the height of cowardice? The height of cowardice are the people who spend all their time, despite living in the most violent empire in modern human history, spend all their time criticizing Russia, China, essentially every person the CIA tells you to hate. And there are people who consider themselves anti-establishment, right-wing populists, who none of them I take seriously, which is why I never took Tucker Carlson seriously. He does this about China. He's slowly getting it, but I don't think he's going to get it. But these people, oh my God, China's so easy. If you do that, you are useless. You are, no matter what you say, you are still an agent of the empire. The only thing that citizen journalists should be doing, especially if you live in the West, because I'll put exception if you're a colonized movement, because you should be working for your liberation at that point unapologetically. But if you live in the most violent empire, if you live in the empire, journalism should fundamentally be different. You should be covering what the hell is going on in your empire. But at this White House Correspondents' dinner, they just want to bring up shit that Russia did.